Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Barabbas. The story begins with Grandma Esther pacifying a few quarreling children. She counsels them by narrating the story of a life, and that of her brother Barabbas. Grandma Esther recounts a difficult childhood when no one cared for her, and her own family despised her. But her family loved Barabbas, a spoiled child who grows up into a man whom Grandma Esther describes as mean, violent, egoistic, bloodthirsty for Roman blood. However, the turning point in her life is when Esther experiences the wonderful and soothing teachings of Jesus. Barabbas, though, in a fit of rage and rebellion, kills 2 Roman soldiers. He is imprisoned and brought to court on a day when the judge must choose to spare the life of one prisoner and condemn the other to a most brutal death. The judge must choose between Barabbas and Jesus. Come, see what happens next. Barabbas, then, is a tale of despair and hope, of intense darkness, and a light that shines right into it. That light, Jesus, came into the sinful world to give an abundant life to Barabbas and Esther. In fact, for everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Delhi Bible Fellowship Noida presents Barabbas Jesus Died instead of me.
Good evening. This is the evening news. 20 people were killed in Karachi by a suicide bomber. 4 of a family committed suicide due to financial problems. More than 11 lakh crore scams have taken place, and according to recent surveys, corruption has doubled in the last 5 years. Attacks on women have increased by 40% in the last 1 year alone. And now, for the news in detail.
Hey, give us some good news, lady! We're tired of hearing these dark, depressing things again and again!
Where now are you? But isn't what I've just said screams out to us through all the news channels, or what pierces our eyes and depresses our hearts as we read the news every day? So then, what is wrong with this world? Like an ostrich that buries its head in the sand, I shall close my eyes and say, nothing. All is well with the world. And then we try to put our finger on it, and we say illiteracy, overpopulation, gender bias, and so on and on. But then we just don't seem to be getting it right. Joseph Conrad, the British author, in his novel The Heart of Darkness, has put it most aptly as the unfathomable darkness within every human being for committing heinous acts of evil. So then, what do I have to share with you today? the heart of darkness. A man whose heart was the heart of darkness. A man named Barabbas. Come and see Barabbas.
So he made you cry, he thinks he is so smart. He's just playing me and thinks he is so cool. He didn't listen to me. He threw my doll in the mud. Well, now did he? Wait till I get my hands on him. Well, see who's here. It's the crying crowd of 3. Wait till I make them run home. When? Did you just make my sisters cry? If I did, what are you going to do about it? He's gonna huff, he's gonna puff, he's gonna huff, he's gonna puff. You know what? My big brother's a big bad boy. I think so. His eyes, they look like big moons. Now you wait. You're going to face children.
Children, stop, children.
Grandma Esther, they're the ones who have been quarreling with us.
Hush, my little ones. Why waste this life you've been blessed with in quarreling and squabbling?
Well, life can get boring without all this spice of quarreling.
Levi, I wouldn't want you to go looking for just so that life becomes interesting.
Well, can't him if he wants us to fight.
Now, we won't have any more of this. Settle down. I will tell you a story.
Oh, Grandma Esther, the whole town loves you. But I don't want a story. At least not at this time.
I understand, Faith. Let's settle down now. Come on. You see, you are like my own children, and it breaks my heart to see you quarrel. You see, I knew a little girl, quite like you, who grew up many years ago in a home where there was no peace. Her father was a rich man, one of the richest in Bethlehem. His name was Asher ben Eliezer, and he was well respected.
Well, why was there no peace in that house?
Oh, to the people outside, that home seemed like paradise. But to the little girls who grew up in that home, it was a place where mother and father were never at peace. And she was treated as if she were a burden, so that she could see no value for her life.
You seem like you know this girl, Grandma.
That girl was me, Esther. I was that unhappy soul.
You, Grandma?
Yes, my dears. And into that home, one cold winter night, was born a son. And the joy of my father, Asher ben Eliezer, knew no bounds. And there was celebration and merriment all around.
My son shall be called Barabbas.
And while this child was born, somewhere in the same town of Bethlehem was born another child, a child which the world had been waiting for. He was born with none of the noise and show of our home. He was born in a humble stable, so different from the rich yet turbulent place where we were. And his visitors were simple shepherds and a few wise men who had traveled far to see him, the Christ child, being born.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will calm the storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kiss your little baby, you kiss the face of God. Oh, Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is the Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb?
You know, this was a very special child, the promised one whom all ages had been waiting for, one who would bring hope to those sitting in darkness. And on that night when he was born, there was a special star that shone in the sky over the place that he was born.
Well, what happened next to this child and your brother?
Well, there were many things that occurred, but I must move on to a few years later when my brother was a young boy. You see, to my father, his son was someone to be pampered and spoiled. My father thought that love was in giving material gifts, and so he gave my brother whatever he asked for. And soon, my brother was a disobedient, arrogant, spoiled and egoistic young boy who was a pain for all, at home and in the neighborhood.
Oh, the trouty Barabbas. Let me tell you more about him. Have you ever seen a boy like Barabbas? He's the meanest of all the human brutes.
Well, he doesn't seem very different from some children I know, does he? You know, children, we waste our lives in quarreling and thinking that we are so great. But is that what the Holy One made us for? Oh, I'm glad, Ruth. But you know, the Christ child was now a young boy, and so different from Barabbas. The young boy was called Jesus, which means God saves. He was one who was wise, someone who loved the presence of God and spent his days reading the scriptures. And he prayed to God. His father was a simple carpenter, and the young boy never felt that he was too high to do the work of his father as a carpenter, even though he was the son of the Most High God. His mother relished to see him work and play. And he was just like you, a child. Yet one who obeyed and grew and became strong. He was filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him.
So the young boy's name was Jesus? I seem to have heard his name before.
I'm sure you have, Levi. Well, the two young men were now grown men, and I was very unhappy because of my father's mean nature and cruel-heartedness, and my brother who had become a violent man. And there I was, the young lady Esther, crying my heart out that there was no one who cared whether I lived or died.
Well, if it isn't my sad and melancholic sister Esther, can't you do anything else than mope all day long?
Yes, it's right for you to say what you want, Barabbas. What has happened to you? You're so wicked and violent.
Esther, you think that this world is made of peace and love? As long as these wretched Romans rule, I can't live in peace.
Oh, brother, forbear. This hatred, it will burn you. It will eat you away.
You know what? Father is right. You are a worthless. see this despicable Romans wiped out from this land, even if it means to shed blood.
So, there I was, that I found myself all alone, even though materially I had everything. And with all that hatred and meanness around me, I was very bitter and wanted to die. And I sat one day brooding.
My life is not worth it. There is no purpose in living anymore. Dear God. Oh dear God! Esther! Oh Esther! Why are you so depressed? Put your hope in God, for you shall yet praise Him. I have lost all hope, Naomi. There is nothing I look forward to anymore. No, Esther, don't ever say that. Have you ever heard about the young rabbi, Jesus of Nazareth? What? Another rabbi? One who preaches about things while I live in this hell? No, Esther, no. He's different. He teaches as one who has authority. He who forgives people's sin. Oh dear Esther, come and see. He's the Messiah we have waited for.
Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are the ones who thirst and hunger for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God. Blessed are the ones who are persecuted for righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
That day, my life changed. I was no longer bitter. I was born again to a new life of joy, which no one can take away, with the peace of God that passes all understanding. Jesus was the preacher, healer, and the one who held us as no one else had.
Jesus, please bless the children. Children, come forward. Jesus is going to bless you all.
Oh, can I forget the day when He healed the blind man who had been born blind?
Jesus! Oh, Jesus! Jesus! Jesus, please heal this blind man, Jesus! Jesus! Please heal this blind man! Jesus! Jesus, please heal this blind man!
He healed.
I can see! I can see! Oh, I can see! Oh, Jesus! Thank you, Jesus! I can see!
Or can I forget the day when he fed the 5,000 from 5 loaves and 2 fish? Or can I forget the day when he raised Lazarus from the grave?
Lazarus, come forth.
Oh, happy day when I met my Lord.
That day, I met the one who changed my life and gave me a purpose to live.
Wow, Grandma, what happened next?
Well, soon my brother Barabbas had joined a group called the Zealots, who believed that they could overthrow the Romans by bloodshed. And my brother, he murdered 2 Roman soldiers and was arrested. Barabbas was condemned to die, a death by crucifixion.
Take to the Romans! Kill them all! Kill them all!
So violence does have a proof. And what about Jesus?
Well, Jesus was betrayed and brought before Pilate. And finally, the two men who were born on the same night stood face to face for the first time. And Pilate, according to custom, asked the people,
Whom should I release?
Barabbas!
But why? I find no basis to charge this man. Whom should I free?
Barabbas! Barabbas! Barabbas!
I will punish him and let him go.
Crucify him! Crucify him! Crucify him!
so Pilate freed Barabbas, even though he was guilty, and condemned Jesus, even though he had done no wrong or sin in his life.
Why then, Grandma? Why?
You know, your question why troubled my brother Barabbas too. He asked himself why this innocent man should die instead of him. And so, he couldn't keep himself from following Jesus. He set out to see what would happen, when suddenly he met a man who seemed to be in deep agony.
Oh, the pain! Curses be upon me! Cursed am I amongst all men! Why did I betray the one who loved me? He gave me honor and a place amongst his own. But oh, curses be upon me!
What is with you? And why are you in such agony? What fear do I see in your eyes?
Oh, if only you knew what it means to betray someone who loves you. If only you knew the torture in my soul. I cheated him for money, for 30 pieces of silver. And now, all generations will recollect my name as a betrayer. Oh, tell them.
Tell them what?
Tell them that I, Judas, cannot live any longer because I betrayed my master for money. Oh, cursed am I. Cursed am I. Cursed am I.
Did you know that Judas was a disciple of Jesus, who for selfish reasons betrayed his master? How true it is what Jesus said. What is it if a man gains the whole world and yet loses his soul? You know, Barabbas had not gone far from there when he met yet another man.
Oh! Dear God! Forgive me! Forgive me!
I denied my master 3 times. Oh, forgive me. Forgive me. What? What are you talking about, man? I denied the one whom I love. I denied my Jesus 3 times. 3 times, do you know? The one who gave me everything. Just as he said. I was scared. I was afraid they would catch me. And so I denied him. He had said that before the cock crowed thrice, I would deny it. And I said I wouldn't, but I did. I did. Forgive me, Master. Forgive me. Who are you? My name. My name is Peter.
So there Barabbas was, and he followed Jesus and saw everything with his own eyes. He saw the way Jesus was treated, and it changed him forever.
Why did he have to die? Instead of me. I was the one who was guilty and deserved to be crucified. How brutally they whipped him and lashed at him and his flesh tore. I should have been the one who should have been there. Why did he have to die instead of me? For a man who's so wicked and sinful. And then they pierced his head with a crown of thorns and bent in front of him again and again. His blood poured out on his face. Why did he have to die instead of me? And yet he said not a word. He was oppressed and afflicted, and yet he did not open his mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter. And then they pushed that heavy cross on his shoulders, and he carried it along the way of the cross again and again, and fell under its heavy weight. Why did he have to die instead of me? And then they nailed him to the cross between the two thieves on that hill they called Golgotha. And even then, when he was dying, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. How could he even then? How could he even then? And then I heard his voice, take the sword out of my hand. Oh Jesus, why did you die instead of me?
His love for you.
Barabbas, for the first time in his life, was confused and upset. He could not eat nor sleep because he needed an answer to his question. And he received the answer to his question when the earth and the stone rolled. Behold, the Lord is risen. Just wait, little one. You see, Barabbas could not sleep. And very early in the morning, on the first day of that week, he arose and walked out of the city, when suddenly he met a young lady.
It is unbelievable. Most High God, you are indescribable and wonderful.
Stop it, lady! What happened that you're blabbering on and on?
He has risen. Hallelujah. He has risen.
Stop speaking! Who has risen? Stop speaking in riddles!
Jesus has risen. He is alive. I was so upset over the past few days, and so when I went to the tomb where he had been laid, I saw him and he said, Mary, Mary, and my heart is so blessed, for I have seen him. He is Lord over sin and death, and he told me, go and tell others about this good news.
Woman, you have lost your mind. Go your way. I can't believe it. Not till I see with my own eyes.
Barabbas, who was confused what to make of Jesus, met another man he had seen a few days ago. It was Peter, his disciple, who had denied him 3 times. With him were Martha and Mary, whose brother Lazarus had been raised from the dead.
Isn't it wonderful? Too good to be true, just as he said he would.
Yes, indeed. There is no one like him. He was nailed, bore our sins, and by his stripes we are healed.
Did you know, when Mary came and told us this morning, we didn't believe her. We thought it was old woman's tale.
Oh yes, you disciples, you did not even believe him when he raised our brother Lazarus after he was dead for 4 days.
Mary and Peter, do you remember what he said when he raised Lazarus? I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though he dies. And so,
he is life and resurrection. He is but surely not bound by death.
But did you know that John and I, then hearing what Mary had to say, ran, and when we reached the tomb, I went in, and there was the cloth lying as if wrapped around. But the Lord was not there. He is risen.
Hello? I remember seeing you a few days ago. Yes. You were pretty upset about it, if I remember.
Yes, I still am. But nothing can take away my joy. Because I know Jesus is risen.
I can't believe this. I watched him die. I saw him pierced with the spear and his blood and water gushed out. I saw him dead. I even touched his dead body. I can't believe it till I place my hands in his hands, and then I will believe.
Well, did Barabbas meet Jesus?
Yes, he did. Later that day, as he walked down the road, Barabbas met Jesus, who he didn't recognize at first.
Shalom.
Shalom to you too. Where are you going?
Wherever you are.
What do you mean? And why do you look at me like that?
Do you not know me, Barabbas?
Who are you? And how do you know my name?
Barabbas, will you not believe in me now that you see me alive once again?
Jesus? How can it be? I saw you dead.
Yes, you did. I died so that you do not have to live a life of sin and violence. I died because the Father in heaven knew that there was no way for man's sins to be forgiven except through the death of his sinless Son on the cross. For God so gave the world his only begotten Son Jesus, so that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Sin cannot hold down the Son of God, and behold, I have overcome death. It was written that the Son of Man would suffer and be crucified and die, and then rise again on the third day. I tell you truly, Barabbas, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no man comes to the Father but by me.
Master, what must I do to be saved?
Believe on the Son of God, and you shall be saved. See my sides where they were pierced for you. Behold my hands.
Now, do you believe?
My Lord and my God, I believe.
That day changed my brother's life. He was no longer cruel and mean. He forgave the Romans and loved all his former enemies. He gave away his money to the poor, and people could no longer believe it was the same man. Soon, my father too came to know Jesus as the one who could forgive and transform a life. And no longer was he the same ever again. My home changed, and my life.
Correction, Esther. And our lives have been transformed forever.
Well, young one, there is the unfolding of that beautiful story of how Jesus saved the life of a man like Barabbas. And you know what? My Jesus is alive even today and can change anyone who believes in his death and resurrection. No matter if you are as mean as Barabbas was or as hopeless as I was. Even when the night is dark, my Jesus walks with me. And how much, oh how much, he wants to walk with you too. Don't reject his hand as he reaches out to you tonight.
Grandma Esther, I want to say something. I promise I will never fight him anymore. Yes, me too, I would. Will Jesus help me not to?
Yes, he will. Would you like to pray?
Yes.
Thank you, dear Jesus, for dying on the cross for our sins and rising again. Come into our hearts and change us and make a blessing out of our lives. In your name we pray. Amen. Come on, little one. Let me get you something for us to do together. Let's go.
That was a very small effort on our part to just convey this truth that almost every single day we are faced with choices. करीब करीब प्रत्येक दिन, हर दिन हमारे सामने मौका होता है दो चीजों को चुनने का, ट्रुथ और फॉल्सहुड, सच्चाई या झूठ, गुडनेस और इविल, अच्छाई या बुराई। जैसे हमने इस छोटे से खेल में देखा, एक रोमी गवर्नर जिसके पास एक अच्छा मौका था एक अच्छी चॉइस लेने का। In fact, he was convinced of the fact that Jesus was innocent. Still, why he couldn't make the choice that was at his disposal? Nobody could have pressured him. Nobody. कोई
कोई उसे उसके निर्णय से रोक नहीं सकता था, बदल नहीं सकता था. But he bent to pressure. You know, truth is a messy affair. If you want to follow truth, it's not going to be convenient in this world. सच्चाई का रास्ता आसान नहीं होता है, और जो सच को चुनते हैं उससे बहुत ही कष्ट झेलने पड़ते हैं, और कभी कभी हम उस कष्ट को झेलने के लिए तैयार नहीं है. We don't want a mess. We want things to be good, smooth, fine, and if bending to the pressure helps that, we usually bend. There was other crowd which was having that choice. They knew very well who Barabbas represented and who this vagabond preacher called Jesus represented. Some were convinced that he is the Son of God, but most were not. But yet they knew of the fact that he was not a criminal. They knew of the fact that he was not a bad guy. He was only preaching and teaching peace, goodness, love, forgiveness. There was no comparison with Barabbas. They knew Barabbas very well. He was notorious. It's not that they were not aware of who he was. They knew very well who Barabbas was. He was an infamous figure in Judea. And nobody liked him. Yet, that was convenient to choose. हर दिन हमारे पास ये दो चीजें आती हैं. कई बार हम उसे चुनते हैं जो आसान है, जहां हमें ज्यादा कुछ हिलना ना पड़े, जीवन में परेशानी ना आए, नौकरी में कोई अड़ंगा ना आ जाए. If giving bribe is what makes things work, we just go with the flow. And if not giving bribe is that works, we might do that, but that doesn't happen in this world. It's almost like a choice is before us, whether you want to go with the current or against the current. The current is always towards evil. So most often, the choice that we may have to make is against the current, against the flow. My dear friends, we present to you this play so that you take back with you this fact that one day I am accountable for the choice I have made in this one life that I live here. हम सब को एक दिन इस बात का हिसाब देना है कि मैंने इस जीवन में कौन सा चीज चुना, और अगर सच्चाई को चुनने में तकलीफ और दिक्कत है और फिर भी मैं उसे चुनता हूं, तो मेरे लिए अनंत काल का जीवन प्रभु यीशु मसीह में है. We believe as Christians that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. As he said, no one comes to the Father but through me. And we have made that choice, but we also realize following Jesus is not an easy thing, it's a messy affair. Following Jesus is going to be tough, because you will not be liked by your colleagues at your workplace because of your truthfulness, because of your righteousness, because you are going against the current in the office. They all want to take bribe and you don't want. That troubles them. I'm just taking an example of bribe. It can be hundreds of things that we choose. We are living in a society that wants to do what is easy, and you are called by God to choose not what is easy, but what is right and what is truth. My dear friend, I'll close here with this message, that we have found the truth in Jesus alone. And following Him is what gives us life eternal. And we offer to you that same choice in this life, if you have not yet made that. And we pray that the Spirit of God, who is in this world, will come into your life too, if you want to make that choice. You can make that choice right now, If you want, right now in your heart, if you want, you can make the choice as soon as you go home tonight. Because we are going to be asked by God, what did I choose? And no one has an option of saying, I didn't make any choice. Because we all do make a choice. God bless you all. Hope God has ministered to you through this play. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we give to you the cast for Barabbas. Presenting to you first up, we have the dancers for the production who were at the birth of Barabbas: Divya Edward, Meenakshi Yadav, Janet Das, Jaya Biju, and Ruth Mohapatra and Susan Joseph. Give a hand to them, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Roman soldiers played by Philip Yala and Rohit Kumar. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the wise men who traveled far from the east: Biju Joseph, A.K., Rohit Kumar and Rajesh Pradituri. Next up we have the father of Barabbas, Asher Ben Eliezer, and Ebenezer Mukherjee played this role along with playing the blind man who came to be healed. Next up, we have the village folk singing Rowdy Barabbas, Philip Yala, Divya Edward, Salome Simeon Yala. I think we can give a better round of applause, isn't it? They've been practicing for 2 months, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, we have the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate, played by Rajiv Sharma. We have the friend of Esther, Naomi, played by Meenakshi Yadav. The newscaster who started it all for us, Divya Edward. The lady who first saw Jesus alive, once again risen up, Mary Magdalene, played by Susan Joseph. Martha and Mary, the two sisters of Lazarus, Janet Das and Jaya Biju. The one who betrayed him for 30 pieces of silver, Judas Iscariot, played by Neeraj Viziam. Peter, the erring disciple, played by Stephen Abraham. Lazarus, come forth, Rajesh Pradituri. The mother with the toddler, Ratna Kumbar, and the children who were blessed, Ashank Yadav, Aaron Davis, Niraya Kumbar, Glory Inman, Asta Sharma. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want him, you don't want him, but the curtain call needs him. Boy Barabbas, played by Ivan Davis. The humble little boy Jesus, played by Jonathan Biju. Mary, mother of Jesus, and Joseph, father of Jesus, played by Swarna and Prakasham Vajnapalli. The 4 children who were terrible friends, and now terrific ones in fact, are Anugrah Das, Harshit Abraham, Sarah Edward, Faith Inman. Patient for 1 hour and 15 minutes. These children deserve a bigger round of applause, don't you think so? Esther, the transformed one, played by Ruth Mohapatra. The one who held it all, Grandma Esther, played by Philomena Viziam. The Lord Jesus, played by Monish Edward. Ladies and gentlemen, in the title role, and as Barabbas, we have Sachin Kumbar.
evening, ladies and gentlemen.